on a linear path, never halting. We've all had that feeling in the middle of a maths lesson, when time seems to be in another dimension entirely, the hands of the clock slow and heavy. Then other times, like the 5 minutes after hitting the snooze button, when time moves in an unnatural blur. However, these things are simply the perception of the human brain, and nothing to do with time itself. Time continues marching forwards without ever changing pace, except for me. For as long as I can remember, time has always been strange around me. It can slow down until the movements of those around me are reduced to stagnant, robotic motions. Other times it will fly by in a blur while I am left behind. Most frightening of all is when time freezes completely and everything is still. I have no control and I can do nothing but watch and wait until time restores itself, each time afraid that it will never return. I feel detached from the rest of the world. Sure, every day I reluctantly pull on my uniform. The drab black trousers matched with an equally drab stiff blazer. I go to school and try to act like any other 16-year-old. First period is maths, and the classroom overlooks the front courtyard. I gaze out the window, uninterested in whatever type the teacher is explaining now. I notice something unusual. There is a girl standing by the front gate. She's not dressed in uniform, so I have no idea if she's local or not. It's not unusual to see girls waiting by the gate, as the girls' school finishes earlier than we do. They stand and wait for their brothers or boyfriends while either embracing or ignoring the flirtatious comments that are thrown at them. However, seeing someone standing there during first period is not normal. She stands with her hands in the front pocket of an overly large jumper that reaches halfway between her waist and knees. Despite the December cold, she is not wearing anything particularly warm on her legs, and she shivers as the wind catches her long dark hair. Most disturbing is her facial expression. After all, she's far away, and it's difficult to tell what she's looking at from this distance. However, I'm almost certain the subject of her fascination is me. The girl continues to stare at me, and I feel extremely uncomfortable. I do not recall ever meeting this person, and I really can't fathom why she's so annoyed with me. Kieran, the maths teacher, a young woman with a fiery temper, whacks her ruler off the desk. When I look back out onto the courtyard, the girl is gone. During the lesson, I find myself constantly averting my gaze from the whiteboard to the front gate, wondering if she is going to show up again. If she really does have something against me, I want to settle it somehow. The look she gave me was so fierce, you would have thought I murdered her grandmother. Please pay attention, the maths teacher snaps. Whatever is out the window is not as important as GCSE maths, so pay attention. Is it any wonder your marks have been so low? At that moment, all my frustration reaches its climax. I used to try in school, but whenever I get stressed during an exam, time messes up and I can never get it completed. I stand up and slam the palms of my hands against my desk, causing my pencil case to topple onto its floor, its contents spilling onto the floor with a clatter that echoes throughout the silent classroom. Just shut up, I yell. The teacher looks shocked at my outburst, and the expressions on my classmates' faces range from horror to absolute amusement. Seeing that people are finding this funny just agitates me even more, and I'm about to storm out of the classroom when I notice something. The teacher's shocked expression, arched eyebrows and open mouth. It's not changing. It's the same with everyone else in the room. They're completely still. I sigh and look at my watch. 9:30 a.m. Of course it was going to happen, considering how bad my mood has been these past few days. I take the time to compose myself and steady my breathing. I bend down and start picking up all the fallen items from my pencil case. When I've done that, I sit at my desk and lay my head down. Usually by now, it would have gone back to normal. I don't know how long it's been, of course, but a complete freeze like this doesn't normally last very long. person school like that, so I'm sure that's contributing to the length of the pause. The most disturbing thing is the silence. All the usual sounds that we naturally block out, the outside traffic, the sound from the other classes, and the hushed conversations done about a teacher's knowledge, have completely ceased. Even my own breathing sounds unnaturally loud. In situations like this, I know that keeping calm is important. I assure myself that any second now, things will function again, like they always do. I instinctively check my watch. It's still 9:30 a.m. Mild panic begins to set in when I see that everyone in the classroom is still unmoving. I look out the window and see what looks like a photograph. The streets and roads that were busy with people, now all completely suspended in time. I quickly get up and run down the corridor, checking each classroom. It's the same in all of them. I go up to someone and shake them hard, but even if I change their position, they do not react. My heart rate increases and I break into a cold sweat, keeping calm becoming an impossible option. Hello, I scream into the corridors. There is no reply. I feel depressingly lonely, like I am the last man on earth. Physically, everyone is here, but they will cease to exist while we are trapped in the paradox of 9:30. They're nothing but empty shells. What on earth has this got to do with me? I yell down the corridor. There must be someone, somewhere that is still functioning. I can't be the only one who isn't frozen. Someone must know what's going on. Clinging to this single, fragile hope, I run through the corridors until I leave the building and enter the courtyard. There is no wind outside, and the heavy grey clouds do not move in the sky. Where exactly are you going? A female voice asks when I go to leave. I'm instantly overjoyed to hear another voice. I look for the source of the voice and see nothing. Am I hallucinating now? I'm up here, Egypt. I look up and see the girl from earlier, perched delicately on the edge of one of the first floor windowsills. She's dressed completely differently. On her upper body, she is wearing a grey sleeveless shirt with a pale blue tie down the front. The large jumper from earlier is gone. The thing that is most striking about her is not her attire. On her right arm, there is some sort of grey metallic device with a screen about the same size as a mobile phone. The device is seemingly not attached by anything. Rather, it seems like it is an actual part of her arm. Can you not speak? She asks. Before I can reply, she leaps off the windowsill. My heart is in my mouth as she jumps from what must be at least 3 meters, but she gracefully lands with her knees bent. Close up, the device in her arm seems even more unsettling. It's embedded into her arm, and the skin around it is stretched and irritated. Probably the reason she keeps subconsciously scratching her arm as she scrutinizes me. You are causing a heck of a lot of problems, she says in an accusing tone, pointing at me. Time's completely out of whack right now. Really? I never noticed, I reply, surprised that I can still be sarcastic despite the circumstances. Can you please explain what's going on? Well, to give you the incredibly brief version, you're not supposed to